welcome back to a brand new coffee tech break with Jan. Good to see you back again on my channel. I think I got another great video for you lined up, but also I wanted to mention something because I always get the question about, Jan, are you actually drinking coffee? And let me show you that, try to show you that, and here you go. So I actually have coffee in here, absolutely. So I'm absolutely drinking coffee. I love coffee. Most of the time, cappuccino, and that's my favorite with milk. Try to avoid sugar, so usually the sweet, or I try to not to do that because the milk already is sweetened in it. But I'm trying coffee everywhere, and usually I drink that the whole day here in my home office. So I guess this is why the whole coffee tech break started. So some information behind the scenes, because I always get a lot of questions about that. Now today, again, I think I got another great video for you lined up, because the last period I showed you the interface of, for example, Teams, Zoom, and I showed you that as well as on a touchscreen, and I showed you that on the TC8, because we got several applications running on the StudioX. But let me quickly show you a recap of that. As you can see, really nice. We got some great application running there. Now, today I'm going to jump into GoToRoom. But before I do that, let me give you some background. So take a cup of coffee, also in between, important. So we got that GoToRoom application running right here, as well as here on my X30. I got a touchscreen here, and I got here on the TC8. Now, the GoToRoom application is quite some development, so it's very good to see from LogMeIn that they get quite some development on that application, bringing out new features, etc., which I will talk through in a bit. Now, the GoToRoom application is running on the full StudioX line. And so we got there X30, X50, X70 for your larger rooms, and the G7500, the integrated codec. So we got the GoToRoom application running on all those devices. Very nice. Now, what I want to do today is show you how you activate the GoToRoom application, which you can do from the Poly and StudioX web management, the web UI, or you can do through Poly Lens. So I will show you those two options, and after that I will jump into my GoToRoom room and show you that end user experience. So what does the user see when I walk into the room? Show you before the meeting, and how you can share content during the meeting. So what controls do you have on the TC8 as well as on the big screen, as GoToRoom has now touchscreen support, so you can also do some things on the touchscreen. And that whole combination with touchscreen, with TC8, makes the solution complete. But I will walk that all through, and hopefully you will enjoy this GoToRoom video. Now, as usual, I will jump in my computer now and first show you how you can activate the GoToRoom application onto StudioX. Now here we are in the StudioX web application, so you just connect here to the IP address of the StudioX or G7500. You put in the username and the password. The default one is the last 6 digits of the serial number. If you haven't been in there, then you click on sign in, and then you will arrive in the web interface of the StudioX. Well, what you need to do is you go to General Settings, you go to Provider, and here you will find the GoToRoom application as well as the other applications. Here you can click on Go to Applications, you click on Save, the system will reboot, and you will jump into the GoToRoom application. Now, The other thing what you can do is to change it to GoToRoom is in PolyLens. So here you also need to go to your StudioX. You can go to settings and then you go here going down to general settings, you go all the way down and here you will find the option provider. Now here you got the drop down menu. You go here to GoToRoom. You apply this policy. The system will reboot and you're able to use the GoToRoom application. So this is through PolyLens, and I do this now directly on a device, but you can also do this of course on a group or on the site and on all other policies to make sure that the devices go into this mode. Now welcome into my GoToRoom experience environment. So in this room, I can show you as an end user walking into a room with Studio X30, X50, X70 or G7500 and show you what the end user will experience when walking into that room. Now, how do I do that? So here on the left side, you see a big screen. So that is the TV UI connected to that X30 underneath. At the table there, you see the TC8. But of course, that is a smaller screen, so I've expanded that right underneath and also got a pointer here to show you around on that TC8, so show you the different controls, etc. Walk them all through, like before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. And it's the exact same copy that I have here. So this is the X30 and connected here also to that same touchscreen. So I can really show you around in all the options and features, what is available on the TV UI, what is available on the TC8, and you need to use them both. That's the whole experience is about the two of them. Now, what I will also do is hook up a PC and sharing content through the HDMI ingest. And this is also available in the latest release from the GoToRoom application. Now, let's get started. So first off, walking into this room. So what you see there on the TV UI, it's inviting me to look at the calendar. So what you need to do is you need to hook up a calendar and hook that up to a room. And you need to do that through the admin portal after log me in. That's very important. Now, before you even get to this screen, what is also important that you need to register the MAC address, the serial number of this device. And so it's able to get a license from the GoToRoom admin portal. And this will bring you into this experience. As soon as you start it up, it will bring you into this experience and you're able to use it. But I will walk that all through how that end user experience looks like today. Now, first off, it's inviting me to start a meeting. So you can see that on the big screen, when you got your calendar synced, you will see your join buttons if it is a video meeting. And on the TC8, what you see here below, it invites you to tap on the screen to start using that device. Let's get started and show you all the different features. So tapping now on TC8 and what you will see, it will exactly bring you into this TV UI. Also on the TC8, it will bring you into that end user experience. So first off, at the top, what you can see there is it will give you that way to create an instant meeting, which I will do in a bit. But first I will show you around to the features and functions. Well, same on the TC8. You see there also to start an instant meeting, and it's touch enabled. So I can do everything which you see on the big screen, which is showing buttons. You should be able to tap that. So I can click here on this one. I can click on screen mirror, etc. So you're able to browse around both on the TC8 and on the TV UI. So first off, normally I would see calendaring here, but I haven't connected it up to a calendar in the admin interface. But assuming, as it is mentioning here, you will be aware of that. You can just tap the join button and join a meeting. Now, then we got the next bubble here. We have join or start a meeting. So if there is already a meeting, you punch in here the GoToRoom ID or name, and you're able to start a current meeting. Very nice. Same thing, you can do that on the TV UI, and as you can see here below, or on the TC8. Now the next option, what you see, is join a third-party meeting. And joining a third-party meeting is the device mode underwater on the StudioX and G7500. So as it is mentioned in here, let's say you walk in the Zoom meeting or WebEx meeting or any other video client you have in your laptop, you can share the camera, speaker and mic. Now, let me show you that experience. So I can click that also on a touchscreen. And let me show you that. So you got a little bit of feeling what's been done through the TV UI, in case you got a touchscreen, and been done through the TC8. So I can click here now, for example, on the TV UI. And what is it offering is it brings me into this next screen. So you connect now, as it is mentioning, your USB cable to the laptop. You connect your HDMI cable to the laptop to share your screen, and you're able to do that. But it points you to the TC8, for example. You see here below now that Go button, and that means it will jump. If I click on that, it will jump into this device mode. And this is familiar for most people. And you see here that experience with the device mode. You're able to toggle here the mute button, able to toggle the volume button. I think most people are aware of that. And you can do that here through TC8, but you can also do that here using, if you got a touchscreen, you can use that using the TV UI. So I've created the video up there to show you if you need to find that video back where I'm walking you through this device mode experience. All right, so let me exit this one. So very important. So third-party meetings. Now, the last option is the same one, is create an instant meeting. And I will do that in a bit because otherwise we'll jump directly into the in-meeting experience. But I will do that a bit later. Let me first show you around on the different interfaces. Now, next option is screen mirroring. Screen mirroring and content sharing. So you can do that using it wirelessly, as you see right here. You can do that by going through this link. You punch in that meeting ID, and you got you got the ability to share content, even including audio. And so that is something you can do just using your web browser and connected it. Very simple. And I think most people are familiar with that experience using the other video applications. The other option is using the HDMI cable. So that is also available now in the latest release of the GoToRoom application. Now, let me first walk you through the interface. So on the top, on the TV UI, what you see, there's always a URL available, and that is the content sharing URL. And it's the same thing which you see right here, which is a unique URL which will change all the time. So people are able to connect to that and do some sharing. And as I said, including audio if needed. Now, there's another option which you see on the top, that wheel here on the top right, next to the clock, you got a wheel, so we can click on that. And here you got some options to change on the TV UI. So you can change the room name here. You got here your date and time. You can change your 24-hour settings if needed. A time zone. You can customize here, so you can put it in the black or in the white mode. As you can see, just what fits best for your room. And here you will find the option system, and system will give you an output of the different versions. So if you need to troubleshoot something with GoToRoom or with Poly, you got here all the information running on the device application, the device itself. So you got all that information right here. Now, also what you will see is you got here a restart button. So in case there is an emergency and you need to restart, I think that's usually what most users want to do. So that gives them here the flexibility to do that if needed. And also what I really like is if you look at that option here, is a new GoToRoom enabled. So this is really nice. They just give you the ability to use new features in an upcoming upcoming app. And here I can switch back to that previous app if needed. And so if that new experience has maybe some issues or not working specifically for a customer, then you can always switch back to that previous version. Really, really nice. So you can play a little bit around with those newer features. And specifically with this new application, which I'm running right now, you got that HDMI ingest and you got that dual screen if you got an X50 and could be X70 or G7500. So that feature is also enabled. So this is the experience on the big screen, just to quickly browse it through. Now, what do we see when we go here on the TC8? So on the TC8, a little bit different. So I can click here also on that wheel on the TC8. And what you'll see there is you got that general, which is also the name. You can change here the language, region. We got here also the date and time settings. And here you got an additional one. This is, for example, the camera preset. So I can add here camera presets if needed. And so I can, for example, save an option as a camera preset to a whiteboard. Let me do that. I can save that. So these are manual presets. I just pointed to a specific location. Save another one to the talker. All right. So now we got different presets, which I created. So we got a whiteboard and a talker. And here you can manually do some PTZ. And of course, which I was showing a bit, you can also change from manual PTZ to auto tracking. So as you know, the X30, 50, 70, they all got auto tracking, presenter track, speaker track, group track, but you can enable that through that in-meeting experience. Now, same thing, we got here the customization button, so you can change from dark mode to white mode is needed. And here you find also the different options and versions available, etc. And same thing, here you can also switch back to that previous application. And also, if needed, you can do a restart. So very flexible for your specific environment. So this shows you the experience on the big screen, as said, which can be a touchscreen and in combination with sort of the TC8. And also this shows you the experience on the TC8 just before the meeting. Now, before I jump into those in-meeting controls, let me first show you the experience when walking into this room, for example, with a laptop. And I want to share the presentation. So I got here the HDMI cable coming from the StudioX 30. Let me put that in the laptop and show you what will happen when I put that in. So I'm connected now, the laptop, and very nice. What you see here on the TC8 right below is that it asks me, do you want to share using HDMI? So that means sharing that content in the meeting, or do you want to switch to device mode? Really nice. So let me first click on HDMI. And what you will see immediately, I'm sharing the content now on the big screen. And also you got some additional controls. So you see here, stop sharing, you got here pause, but also you can create a meeting from this. So very nice. So just immediately start a meeting and share my presentation. So you really got some additional controls here, but also to use the presentation directly in that meeting. In case you want to just share your screen using device mode, so you want to run just a Zoom application or you run a Teams application and you want to share your screen, you use the device mode. So again, you just plug in the laptop using HDMI, you click here on the TC8 on the device mode, and it asks you to connect all the cables, and you start the device mode here. And as you can see, you can start sharing your laptop immediately on the big screen. Really, really nice and flexible to use. Now let me create an instant meeting in the GoToRoom application. And so you will see the in-meeting controls. So what controls do we have available on the big screen and what options do we have available on the TC8. We'll invite an external participant to show you what controls you have, share some content. So you got a little bit of an idea of the features and functions that are during the meeting available. Now, you can of course join a meeting as I showed you earlier. So here you can join a meeting and you need to punch in the meeting ID, or you can create an instant meeting. So the only thing you need to do, and you can do that as well as on the TV UI if you got a touchscreen, or you can do that on the TC8. So let me now create that on the TC8 and start an instant meeting. Yeah, and show you what options are available. So what you will see on the big screen, you see on the top right, as you can see right here, you see my mute and not unmuted, and you see here the time. And on the left lower side, you see an indicator of the audio, and you can see the name of the room. Really nice. Below here, you see the control. So TC8 is really critical in the room if you want to have the controls during the meeting. So as you can see right here, we got a mute button. And so if I click on that, you got some really nice animation there. I don't know if you've seen it, but it will has a sort of like it's working on it. And I really like that. So you click on it and it will go to mute. Now, same for the camera. That's the next one. Click on that. Whoop, and now the camera is also muted. And the next button here as a control is the camera control. Really nice. So here you see that manual mode, as you can see here. So you can preset it with the PTZ control, zoom in, zoom out. You got some brightness control, saturation, so you can really play around with those settings if needed. And also the presets. As you remember, I created some presets. As you can see, if I click on that, it will show you the talker and the whiteboard. So here you were able to set it to a specific whiteboard maybe, or to a specific talker or speaker in the room. So these are all programmed. Yeah, you can do that up front, of course. If you want to do it all automatically, and then you click on this guy, automatic mode, and what will happen, it will now automatically go to the different speakers in the room, and it will detect them in the room and zoom in on them. Really nice. Yeah, and underwater, it can probably be a group track or speaker track, depending which settings you want in the room. Camera controls. And now we got the next one are the meeting details. So let me click on that. Here you can jump in. So if external participants want to join, they just need to punch in that meeting ID. So I will do that in a bit to give you an idea what options there are and if you want to present something. All right, so the next option is the person option. So you can see who is in the meeting room. Really nice. So you got here the option, for example, also to lock the meeting. So in case you got all the participants in there and you don't want to let anybody else join that meeting, you can lock it. You got here the option to invite other participants right here below. So if I click on that, you can find other participants on the platform and your tenant, which you can invite. What more options do we have? Then we got here the three dots, which gives you the option to mute and unmute everybody. Then we got here the Poly Coffee JC. That's the room which is the organizer, which is the presenter at the moment there, and that's the person in the room right now. Now the next option is chat. So I will show you that in a bit when I let another participant join to show you what is available. So you can simply chat with everybody or chat with specific persons as soon as they're in the call. Share screen. Really nice. So these are the same options as I showed you earlier with that unique URL. So people can just punch in that into the browser and they're able to start presenting, including audio if they want to. And also you can share with the HDMI cable, but be aware using the HDMI cable is not carrying the audio. So you need to have somebody, if you want to carry audio, you need to have somebody join using that web application, and then you should be fine. HDMI cable is purely for the presentation and for somebody presenting in the room. All right, what more options do we have? Then we go to recording, which is here grayed out, which probably needs a license so you can record a meeting. And we got here settings. So if I click on settings, so here you'll find some different options. On the general settings, you can find here entry and exit chimes. So that means it will make a little bit of sound when somebody joins the meeting or exits the meeting, which sometimes would be nice so people are aware that people are coming in. Now looking at audio, so you could use the room audio if you want to, so just dialing in over the platform, over the application. But if that is giving trouble, you have here the option to also dial in with an external PSTN, with a conference phone or with a private phone. Now under video, let me show you that. So here you can position everybody on the screen. So that is more like the layout, the setup on the screen. So here you can show everybody at the top, show everybody on the left, or if you want to just show the active cameras or show the active speaker, or you can hide all the cameras, really flexible. So here you got some options to change that. So I think GoTo, the Log Me In guys did a great job on the GoToRoom application on the StudioX. You see there's a lot of features and functions available. Now further we got the Hang Up button, which you see right here below. I won't press it now because I will show you also when an external participant will join, share content, how that experience will look like. On the left side here, you see that speaker. If I click on that, you can change the volume, as you see right here. Really nice. And what I also like, it will exit sort of automatically back into the in-meeting controls, as you can see, really nicely. Now on the right side, you see a sort of calendar. And I think this is also really nice. So during the meeting, that you are aware of upcoming meetings, just to keep it to a specific timing. So I don't have it hooked up here now to a calendar, but I expect as soon as you do that, you were able to see that right here, those upcoming meetings. Now, what I wanted to do now is let an external participants join that meeting and show you what happens. So you see the meeting ID also here at the top. So I think this is also nice. So you continually got a good overview of that. On the TV UI, what is good to know, there's not much you can do there during the meeting. So I can click here not on the mute button or just click anywhere. There's nothing available on the touchscreen at the moment. So all the meeting controls, that's good to know, are on the TC8. So this is why you need to have them both to give you that that full experience. Now let me dial in now an external participant, and what you will see, that meeting ID which I showed you earlier, that same meeting ID, you can find that also right here. Now I got an external participant ready who sits somewhere on the beach, and let me dial that person in and show you what additional options we have after that, adding that external participant. So joining the meeting now. And of course, he will probably be muted because he sits on the beach. There's a lot of wind there. All right, so we'll make sure that he is muted. All right, so we got that external participants on the beach joining the meeting. Welcome. Now, what you need to do is when an external participant join the meeting, they are an attendee. So let me check here now on the TC8, because what you will see, we got now 2 people in the meeting. I got here my Poly Coffee Jansi, that is the Studio X30, and we got here Jan Coffee. And Jan Coffee is an attendee because he's sitting at the beach. Now, if we want to make sure that Jan Coffee can share something, you need to go here to that dots, which you see here on the right side, and there you got the option to make an organizer. If you want to give them full rights to also make other presenters, etc. Or you can make it just a presenter. And the excuse is a very nice word there to just thank that person and take him out of the meeting very friendly. So we'll make it presenter now. And what will happen is this person will have the ability now to share the screen. So Jan, you are on the beach now, Jan Coffee. Can you try to share something? All right, he's trying to share now, and he can share including audio, but I won't do that now. Now, and here you can see he's sharing his screen now. Very nice. What can you do with this content? There are some options here to do some annotation. The person can do that remotely, just using his PC or his mobile, and you can do some annotation there. Also very nice, if there is no option to talk, there's also the chat. So we can do here chat, so from the external person. All right, and what you will see experience here on the Studio X30, very small ball here which says 1. So I can click on the chat here and it says hi. So I can just send it to everyone, but now I can also send this chat to Jan Coffee only if needed. So you can really play around with this. You can send it specifically to the presenter or to Jan Coffee, and you can just punch in a message here, hi, right, and send that back. And you can see that person doing some annotation now, but in the room here, I cannot do anything on this content. I mean, not today. So I can zoom in and zoom out, as you can see a little bit. So I can zoom in from this location in case you got a touchscreen, but there's not much more to do than that. I cannot just draw something here on the screen or anything like that. Right, so this was to walk you through that in-meeting experience. Now, and after the meeting, what you need to do is you just hang up and you can end the meeting for all or cancel. So let me end the meeting for all. And here we're back now at the interface where we started. Now here ends the coffee tech break session on the GoToRoom end user experience. So I showed you that experience on the TV UI and on the TC8. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I would recommend to get in contact with Log Me In if you need a trial or a test account to just play around with yourself. There's also a lot of options in the admin portal where you can hook it up to a specific mailbox. You can create some different themes and settings, etc. There's also some options to dial in with H323 SIP endpoints. So if you got the right licensing there, you can even join those external participants. So they don't have to be natively on the GoToRoom, and you can even dial in H323 SIP endpoints. Now, if you got any questions, just let it know in the comments and we'll try to answer them as good as possible. If you like this type of video, I would recommend to just subscribe to my channel, and I'll try to post videos weekly to keep you updated on the latest and greatest. Now, thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next videos.